Hello everybody, November 3rd, 2017. Hope everybody's well. Hadn't planned on doing another video this week, but just some things I came across in prayer and reading today that prompted to speak about it. And I'll go ahead and share a couple old messages. Number 97. Iridescence, thing of the past, radiates outward, unable to last. Incomplete, it travels through time, magnificent splendor in rhythm and rhyme. Hoarseness biting, trying to take hold, cavernous darkness full of the cold. Repudiate all that was thought before, stripping men's knowledge to very core. No one has known all that shall come to pass, seething with fury, filling the morass. Only the ones who can see and hear all that is laid before them so dear. Words that are spoken from wisdom of heart, most will not heed, and hence shall depart. Lost they will be, pitiful fools, clinging to all the earthly tools they use to entrench souls to the ground, and won't be able to escape what comes round. Open your heart to all that there is, and you for eternity shall completely be his. Here we're talking about iridescence, thing of the past, which would be the light, the pure light that radiates outward, it's unable to last. Incomplete, it travels through time. Magnificent splendor in rhythm and rhyme, which is these messages. Coarseness biting, trying to take hold, cavernous darkness full of the cold. The evil that's out there, darkness evil, interferes with it, tries to distort it. Hence the incomplete iridescence of the light, of the word that's out there, constantly being communicated to us. They repudiate all that was thought before, stripping men's knowledge to very core. So it interferes with our truth, the knowledge of the truth. That's what it's been doing for a very long time. So that no one has known all that shall come to pass. No one does. Seething with fury, filling the morass, darkness again. Only the ones who can see and hear. And darkness doesn't know all what's going to come to pass. Only the ones who can see and hear all that is laid before them so dear. Words that are spoken from wisdom of heart, most will not heed, and hence shall depart. Sadly, lost they will be, pitiful fools, clinging to all the earthly tools, the things of this world they use to entrench souls to the ground, which is the darkness out there, and won't be able to escape what comes round. And no one will be able to escape what's coming. Open your heart to all that there is, and you for eternity shall completely be his. Simple thing to do. Simple thing to do. Number 98. O ye of lost soul, blinded by all you see, keeps you from becoming all that he wants you to be. Pretty straight cut. Lifeless carcass of pulsing flesh, spirit and meat can't seem to mesh. Very true. Ears so full of sound, words go unheard. All the truths come through, all blurred. So we're so focused on stuff around us in this world that we don't, it's all obscured and obstructed. Look for meaning in all the wrong places. In churches, in books, on TV. Wrong places, as I said, talk to him directly. Gazing upon all the lost and lonely faces. Open heart, winds of clarity shall blow. Through open door, thus allowing the flow. So open your heart, open that door to the walls, the fortress you built, and winds of clarity shall blow through that open door, thus allowing the flow. All the knowledge you sought to find, when he said, seek and you shall find, with all your human earthly mind. Obstructed path that is so true, not the way to find what's inside you. You can't find what's inside you, the truth, when you got all these barriers. And darkness gets you to hang on to those barriers. Hidden door for all to see, the key to which was given us free. That door that's hidden inside us, the key was given to us free. But if we can't use it ourselves, Jesus also, being like the landlord, has the master key, because he is the master, and he will help unlock it for us, if you ask him. And few of us can unlock it ourselves. We're afraid to use our own key. Simple truth, no folly was given. essence of which was heavenly driven. Wake from your earthly slumber. Be prepared when called is your number. Be prepared when your time is up. Child of God, you all have been. Believe in this, the darkness can't win. It thinks it can, but it can't. That's its vanity. Fear not the truth you know inside. From the start, you cannot hide. Even until the ends of time, call to you is not sublime. Open arms await you hence, all to come, past and present tense. And feel the love of his boundless grace. Come home to dwell in your heavenly place. All that stuff, past and present and future tense, all be there with us. With God, again, time doesn't exist with God. So, wonderful messages, as they all are. Now I want to instructed to talk about well, first I want to mention in this one posting I posted that I will post tomorrow from today, regular blog posting, and within Psalm 55, where the hidden messages were coming through Psalms today, this one came through, and it's on, you can read it, but I don't read it to you. It was a prayer given us from Jesus that was hidden within the words of Psalm 55. Oh, that I had the wings day and night, for destructive forces are rising against me. If I could but hide at the house of God among the worshipers who does never change. So that's a prayer. And if he's given it to us, it's something we want to say every day. So when you read it, you might want to write it down and say it every day. A simple prayer. I mean, saying, oh, that I had the wings, the angel wings, day and night, constantly, while I'm awake and asleep, for destructive forces, evil, are rising against me. If I could but hide at the house of God, which is heaven, among the worshipers that are there, God who does never change. Oh, if I could be in heaven and be safe. So, it's a prayer he wants us to say then, so I'd write it down and say it. And for those out there, and I've talked to many people I know, people that I know read the blog, when he gives us something, these messages, whether it's specifically for you or for everybody in general, or from loved ones to you, that's something you have to take care of right now and pay attention, make a priority number one. But when you get something, information from him, and say, okay, that's wonderful, I'll do it, but I got other things I need to do first, I've been busy. You're blowing God off. Big mistake. Big mistake. He's giving that message, the communication, that means pay attention, make it priority number one, do it. See, if he look at it this way, because basically what it is, it amounts to him appearing in front of you saying, hey, you so-and-so, this is for you specifically, I need you to do this. And you're saying, oh, wonderful, thank you, Jesus, thank you, God, I will do that, but I need to go take care of this right now, or I need to go take care of the kids right now, I need to do this, or I'll get to it when I get a chance. No. Your soul and others who are involved with you in that direction he's given you, souls depend on your putting that priority number one, putting him first. Because every time you put something before him, you are rejecting him. And then something gets, when it comes back on you and you're struggling, you say, oh, why am I going through this, Lord? Duh. You ignored him. You didn't put him first. You rejected him. In doing so, when misfortune and struggles, hard times fall upon you, whose fault was that? Not his. Again, everybody stop blaming God for everything. Blame yourself. Take ownership. Now it gets me to talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah, which was around about 1900 or 1800 something to into the 2000s BC. no one knows exactly when it, time frame or when it was there, or how far back it goes. But when the city had thrived around that time, and the exact date of destruction, of course, no one knows. No one knows absolutely certain where they existed, but the strong belief is that on the south end of the what is now the Dead Sea. Now they were destroyed by fire and brimstone upon the earth. It just crumbled to dust, set on fire, burned to the ground, never to be seen again. Well, there's evidence in that area of bitumen, or bitumen, B-I-T-U-M-E-N, I'm not sure exactly pronounce it, which comes up out of the earth via an earthquake. That's what it brought it up. It's like the earth opening up and bringing up to the surface charcoal for a fire. So that would happen first. And how was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? By fire from hell, from the heavens, onto this, raining down upon this fuel that was put there by an earthquake, and fed that rock, flammable rock, and burned it all to the ground. So and then disappeared, for the most part, into the Dead Sea, below water. And the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah, people think immoral, sins of the flesh, sins of sexual sins, but it's really sins of all kinds of things. So people of those areas or cities were known for their arrogance, for their brutality, for their not caring for the poor, not caring for their own neighbor, abusive, all manner of sexual deviation, hoarding their wealth, caught up in greed and corruption and power, which are the sins of the flesh, of this world, flesh being this world. They epitomized it. Everybody in that area, different in the Bible or the Talmud or the Hebrew Orthodox Bible, all refers to this. It's the type of people that lived there in that whole area, which was abhorrent to God, which is why he destroyed it. Now, angels came to Lot. Well, first he said to Abraham that it was going to be destroyed. Abraham pleaded with God. That's when God said, okay, well, he asked first for so many people, find so many righteous people there, would you not destroy it? He said, for that many I would not destroy it. Then Abraham kept lowering it down less and less and less. So we got down to 10 people. For 10 people, if I find 10 righteous people there, would you not destroy it? He said, I would not destroy it. But they didn't find 10 righteous people. For Lot and his family. To our knowledge, Lot, his wife, and 2 daughters. Even his son-in-laws, he mocked them. Just like today, people mock those who say the end of time is coming. Just like, excuse me, I'll plug this in. Just like time of Noah, where they mocked him, laughed at him. Who suffered? Not the ones who believed, not the ones who listened, the ones who mocked and didn't believe. So the angels later came to Lot and said, hey, you got to go. In the morning, we're going to destroy this place. And Lot just took his own sweet time. He ended up taking him by the hand, pretty much, and led him out of the city. And they told him not to look back, no matter what. Do not look back. Flee to the mountains. Now, he negotiated that to flee to another neighboring city. He said flee to the mountains. Now, correlation here. Well, first I want to read Isaiah 3:9. It talks about people. It mentions about, like, when the angels first came there, and Lot took them inside his house, and everybody came up in the city, members of the city came up, says, bring them outside so that we may know them. Now, know is one of those words in translation that can mean different things. It's like the same word in our language can have multiple meanings. The same word in our American English and British English can mean totally different things. How it's interpreted, how it was translated, mean different things, but we get an idea what they're talking about, because Lot says, no, wait, I'll send out my 2 daughters who have not known a man yet, and you may do what you will with them. So that suggests that they wanted these 2 men to come out, so they may beat them and rape them. Again, the sexual deviants that they were. But the angels blinded them, and they were unable to harm Lot and his family. So, but Isaiah 3:9, it was talking about Jerusalem in this passage, but first Sodom. It says, the show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Which is just like people out there today, sexual deviancy. They flaunt it all about. They don't seek to hide it at all. Homosexuals and lesbians and transgenders and so forth, now, even more so now than before, as we get closer to the end of time, to doing it more and more. And this is, I'm not condemning them in any way, shape, or form, because God judges by the truth of your soul, and all sins are forgiven, except blaspheming against the Holy Spirit. So it's between God and them. But just using this example, how things are being flaunted out there, more and more, even on TV now, more and more on TV shows. They have more and more transgender and gay and lesbian and bisexuals on TV shows and in movies, more and more visible. That's just the reality of what's happening. And again, I'm not condemning anybody. Just showing how things are correlating to the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. And then how people are more flaunting their greed and their corruption and their wealth and their fame and their power and their fortune and their arrogance and their pride. That's all devil. Direct correlation to the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. 4,000 years ago. Man has not changed. And in Isaiah talking about Jerusalem, half that time ago, a little bit more than half the time ago, man has not changed. Every time God has straightened them out, give them another chance, we just gravitate towards the same stuff. And then they did care not for their poor. They totally neglected the poor and the people who were less than what they had, who they were. Looked down upon them. And what's he say in Psalm 41, 1 through 3? It says, blessed are those who have regard for the weak. The Lord delivers them in times of trouble. So that's an important thing. The Lord protects and preserves them. They are counted among the blessed in the land. He does not give them over to the desire of their foes. The Lord sustains them on their sickbed, restores them from their bed of illness. That's in that translation. This Bible's translation basically says, poor. Blessed are they who respect the poor. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. And thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness. Keep that in mind. Whenever someone comes before you, you pass somebody who's begging. Yeah, they might be scamming you. Yeah, they may have a Mercedes-Benz parked in the parking lot. But if you're given that opportunity, you don't know. You don't know. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. Consider them. If they're scamming you, that's between them and God. God will take care of them. If they misuse the money for what you intend it for, that's between them and God. Like you give a gift to somebody for a holiday or birthday, how they use it, how they take care of it, That's their business. That's not your concern. You gave them the gift. Likewise, they gave you a gift. And I'll bring that up the instance where I was on this Las Vegas Strip, walking along, and there's poor laying around all over the place. Some of them are performing, some of them more vocal, some of them just sitting there. And I had $5 in my pocket, and I've mentioned this on the blog before. And I was in a hurry because people were with me. And I was walking back to the hotel, up the strip, or down the strip. So one stood out, quiet, on the pedestrian overpass. I started to stop to give him money, but I reconsidered and kept moving on. And later on, again, did the same thing. And after I dropped him off, I'd walk back down the strip to my car. And it was nighttime, and I was coming across from the Bellagio to Caesar's Palace. And I detoured, instead of going through Caesar's Palace, down the steps to pass along the street side in front of it. And I noticed over in the dark, semi-darkness, by a low wall, another one. Just caused, whatever reason, I looked to the left, saw them, turned back, took one step, a loud voice in my head, 3 times, Tim? Stopped me dead in my tracks. I was like, oh my God, forgive me, Lord, I hear you. 3 times. It's like Peter denied him 3 times. 3 times you denied me. It was angels, or a poor that was presented to me as if they were angels, but just 3 poor people, period. 3 times he gave me a chance to help the poor. Stopped me dead in my tracks. Took out my $5 bill, gave it to him, and walked on. Oh my God, forgive me for denying you 3 times. You just don't know. You just don't know. If you move to do it, do it. Blessed is he that considereth the poor, the Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. And Sodom and Gomorrah people, Sodomites and Gomorrites, ignored these people and all the other things they did wrong, which they were destroyed. Now, a correlation here, number of correlations, that is 1. 2, look how they were and look how people are in this day and age. This exact same way. From the wealthy, to the proud, to the famous, to the narcissistic nature of so many that are out there, stars and celebrities and wealthy people, and the sexual deviancy that's out there. All sins. These are all sins of the flesh being the world, not just physical sexual sins. Anything sin of this world is sin of the flesh. That correlates to Sodom and Gomorrah. And he told me times ago, number of years ago, that he started telling me, when things go bad, do not go to the cities. People are going to tend to go to the cities for safety and security. No, it says go to the mountains. What did he say to Lot? Flee to the mountains. Flee to the mountains. There's other instances in the Bible that said, flee to Mount Zion. Flee to the mountains, to the north in the mountains. Number of mentionings or references in the Bible to flee to the mountains. That's exactly what he told me. Numerous times. Flee to the mountains. Do not go to the cities when things get bad. Go to the mountains. And now the other correlation is to Las Vegas. Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. I lived there 12.5 years. I have loved ones there, friends there. And I've told most of them, not all of them, this place is going bye-bye, it's going to be destroyed. I was enlightened to this. I was told this multiple times through messages, and through spirits around me. It's going to be destroyed. And I've talked about and shared the circumstantial evidence, if you want to look at it that way, or the little signs here and there that point to that. And how did they tell me it was going to be destroyed? Earthquake, fire from the gas leaks, then flood. And that the number of survivors would fill a large room. How big a large room, I don't know. So we're talking over millions of people lost. So the 2 million plus that live there, all the tourists that come in there at any given moment, first responders that would come in, rescue workers would come in. How many would be lost? How was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? Earthquake. Brought up that bitumen. And fire brimstone came down, set it afire, set it ablaze, and that bitumen fueled that fire. Then flood was sank into the Dead Sea. Earthquake, fire, and flood, just like they said for Las Vegas. No, I didn't read this and then got that information, wrote it down myself in some poem. No, I got that years back. And I was just reading about Sodom because I was curious about the time period it was at and saw about that. Various sources. So, again, a big correlation. Now, how the flood going to be? Well, everybody who lives in Vegas knows it's just a cinder box or tinder box. It can burn down quite easily, especially so many homes are so close together. And it's an earthquake zone. There's fault lines underneath it. 40 plus earthquakes in that valley last year. Very few people know about. There's more this year. And all those mountains around there are ancient volcanoes. You know, geologists will say otherwise, but I've hiked in them. There's volcanic rock. In the north, big mountains. You go back in there, there's volcanic rock there. I've seen it, I've walked on it. And it's a big, wide national wildlife refuge, and those ranges curve around. It's like a big crater. If they're millions and millions of years old, they've eroded down so it's not as noticeable. And the mountain to the north is called Black Mountain. They know that was a volcano. And the range alongside it. And those massive eruptions and earthquakes would have caused a lot of those mountains to come up. And the big mountains to the north, to the west. It's like 5 peaks, 10,000 feet up to 12,000 feet. And they're around in a circle. Were they an ancient volcano? There's 2 canyons that come out. Different on the north side and the northwest side. Which would have been ways out. You know. Lava flows, perhaps? They're big, long downhill canyons. In fact, one you can put your car in neutral for miles down this road. Pick up speed where you're going 70, 80 miles an hour without even using your gas. Slow downhill grade. And those mountains are risen up like this, some of them at an angle. You can see the angle that would have earthquake or eruptions would have pushed them up that way. And there's lava tubes underneath the one range. I know it for sure. So all the evidence is there. New fault lines forming towards Las Vegas. Angel that I've mentioned before that I saw above the strip. So these earthquakes going on, whatever happened, the increase in violence, the mass shooting and killings. It's coming, Las Vegas. It's coming. When? I don't know. How far off? I don't know. That's not for me to know. I just know that it's coming and how it's going to come. It is earthquake zone. There's tremors there. It's a tinder box. And the gas leaks. Something ignites that. Well, if there's an earthquake, brings up that brimstone. Whoever knows what's underneath that molten rock, that's going to ignite it, burn it all down. Then the floods. Now, how that flood going to come in the form of rain? Anybody that lives in Las Vegas knows that it floods very easily. It's so dry and the ground's so hard it's like glass. And if you get big thunderstorms just in one of those mountain ranges, it floods the city. So if it's over the entire area for any length of time, it'll wash all that valley away. Or it could be a lot of these earthquakes last year and this year, deep down, minor, on the eastern side of the valley. Over towards the southeast where the dam is. We'll break the dam. And Lake Mead, which is just a few miles outside the city limits, will drain. If it doesn't destroy the dam, say if those earthquakes are on the east side of the valley, it may sink down to where it's below the lake, and all that water of the lake will empty down into the valley. Who knows? Two possibilities. And depending how the earthquake is, the fires, there'll be no way out of there. There are ways out of there. There's 6 ways out of that valley. But are those going to be blocked off? People in the panic. Look at people in the panic. Look at the shooting. How many people were injured from people panicking and running over each other? That's just in one spot from a shooting. Oh my God, mass destruction like that? How many people are going to be killed and lost because of being trampled to death? And you have to think of that. That's another thing. When something like that happens, that's could very well be like a pop quiz, pop test, surprise test. See how you react. Those who failed panicked, they ran over everybody, they were worried about themselves before others. Just like the Sodomites and Gomorrahites. But those who remained calmer, as calm as they could be in that situation, and stayed and helped others. For those who came in to help others. Who passed, who failed. So, just food for thought and the correlation between Sodom and Gomorrah and Las Vegas and a few other things. So, think about it. It's coming. Nothing going to stop it. When, I don't know. So, for those of you in Las Vegas, it's your choice. Stay there. Don't stay there. It's entirely up to you. Affects me not. I'd like to see everybody get out. It's going to be our lifetime? Quite possibly. Our children's lifetime? Most definitely. So, just be ready. Be ready. Everybody have a blessed evening, and I will see you when I see you. God bless.